Here we have a pre-owned 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350. Now this one is a 4MATIC. Comes in polar white. And then we have the beige leatherette interior. For the powertrain, we get a 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 mated to a 7-speed automatic transmission. That gives us 302 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. This one has a little over 87,000 miles. So as we get to the front end here, love the front fascia, LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. And for 2017, my opinion, this is one of the most modern looking mid-size SUVs that you could get your hands on at that time. Down here we get the optional 20-inch 5-spoke wheels. Passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And then over here, door handle, power door lock controls. We do have a full power seat, including a power headrest that we can push up and down. But memory seat functions are there. One touch up and down windows on all 4 doors, rear window lock. And then we do have power folding side mirrors. And this one does have blind spot monitors included. And then we also have the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system. Get a power boot there. 4-way power lumbar support. And then over here, fog lights for the rear, headlamp controls, and then our electronic parking brake. We push in to engage and then pull back to disengage, and we don't have to hit the brake or anything. Pedals are there, hood release there. We get a power tilt telescoping steering wheel, and then it also has heat. But there's a quick look at the seat itself. Now I want to give a big thanks to Auto Collection of Murfreesboro and AutoPro Nashville for allowing me to review this GLE 350 today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find something closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure that the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on any used vehicle you might be interested in. But back here, space is really good for this size SUV. Even with how bulky the seat is in the middle, you're able to put your legs on the side there. And unless I move my knees to the middle, I'm not touching the back of the seat at all. So that's pretty impressive. Headroom, even with the panoramic roof, is very good as well. Rear AC vents. 12 volt down there, additional storage. Seat back pockets are on both sides. And there's a view of the front from back here. Middle seat, you fold that down. Cup holders are there. Let's make our way towards the back. Please excuse me sniffing, it is freezing out here. Child locks on, off. And there's a look at the back end. Might be a little too cold for it to open. But there is the space behind the second row, quite a bit of space. Top tethers are kind of down low there, which is interesting. You have a side pocket there and then a netted pocket there. And there's the 12 volt. And then you have the ability to hang a bag or something back here if you need to. And there's your spare tire. Look underneath the vehicle, there's the exhaust system, tow hitch. Now we're gonna come around to the rear passenger side in a sec. But this does take E85, which is interesting. Now there's the rear seat itself. And then what you can do is pull here and then fold this down. And you can fold that flat once the seat up front is far enough forward for additional storage. And it's pretty easy to lock that back into place. And you can also adjust it a little bit, the seat back. And there's our front passenger seat. We don't get the power lumbar support, but we do get everything else. in terms of the adjustability of the seat. And I like this, how they put this here too. If you want to put a few sheets of paper like maps or something, you can. A lockable glove compartment. The owner's manuals are still in this one. And what's cool about these is you get the 7-speed automatic, which is pretty good transmission, especially for Mercedes. But then you get that 3.5 V6 as opposed to something with a turbo or whatever. So reliability on these is at least said to be a bit better. But only $19,950 for the price on this one. And again, this is something that, like, if you see it coming down the road, it looks like a new vehicle because Mercedes was just ahead of the curve with LEDs and how good the front fascias looked and all of that. But there's the 3.5 V6. Let's go ahead and get a quick run through of the driver's side, but I'm gonna show you these blinkers first. Love those. Let's get in here, it's freezing. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn, and again, that heat, you can toggle that right here. But to the radio, we do get AM, FM, and then we have the option to have satellite internet radio as well. And then we have Bluetooth audio and a USB drive too. The navigation system's there, and you can kind of set that up as you see fit, kind of zoom out and all that there. And you can go into the actual screen and use the compass if you want to. But vehicle settings here, ambient lighting, etc. It's kind of weird going through this because I will say the Mercedes, they just have so much going on, especially with the system, and you have to go in about 5-6 different menus to actually get anything going. But what I like about the Mercedes especially is this is one of the few vehicles where you can get more than 3 languages in America, several different options there. But there are all the settings for that. Backup cameras there. Guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And then you have the bird's eye view as well. So I'm wondering why that's not. There's a front camera, it's working fine. That backup camera might need to be serviced though. Now down here we do get 3-stage heated seats for the front, hazards, traction control, toggle, parking sensors, and then here are all the shortcuts for everything in the radio itself. Bluetooth controls, this is the SD card reader, that's what your navigation runs off of. Now dual zone climate controls are here. Fan speed can be adjusted, fan direction. Then a little space back here if you want to place your phone or whatever. And then you can slide this. You have a cigarette lighter there. You can turn these cup holders on. Might have gotten that button stuck. But you can decide whether you want to cool those or not. And then here, this is where you kind of control the radio because this doesn't have a touch screen. So you kind of control everything through here and then through here. And then manual mode is there when in drive. Your DSR if you ever need that. You're going downhill. And then your drive modes are here. Control steering and then the engine feel or the pedal feel, if you will. Center console cubby space. You can slide this tray back and forth. And then you get 2 USB-A ports, and that's how you run the system on the radio, by using one of those. Now all of your sunroof controls are here. The dome lights. And then you do have a power sunshade, so you can control that. I'm going to show you how this slides back. So a little slow, but pretty quiet at least. So one touch takes it all the way back there. That's pretty impressive. There's a view of the back from up here. And then the garage door transmitter is right in that rear mirror if you ever want to set that up. Vanity mirror there. And then back to the steering wheel. Your windshield wipers are right there. Rear wipers here. And then fluid for the rear, fluid for the front. And your shifter's on the side, so just hit the brake, drive, reverse. You can kind of tap from either direction for neutral. Press P for park. And then again, when you're in drive, you can toggle the manual mode there, and it'll show you which one you're in that digital part of the gauge cluster. But for the manual mode, paddle shifters are behind the steering wheel. Cruise controls here. And then these arrows and the OK button you can use to go through the gauge cluster, so you can go through all the settings there. And then you can also, there's a lot in here, but you can go to your settings, OK, instrument cluster, and you can change your miles to kilometers if you want to. Then Bluetooth controls, voice recognition, is your volume here. You can mute there. And then when you're in the actual menu for the radio, when you're in the audio setting here, you can use this to kind of go through those options. Push button starts here. Here's the key fob. Next, let's go ahead and take this 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this GLE 350, it's I like these engines because the 3.5s, they just have a good amount of power, over 300 horsepower, which is impressive for something like this. But you get something that's relatively fuel efficient for having a V6. And then on top of that, it's just, again, easier to drive. You don't have to worry about a turbo if you don't like turbos. You're not having to go down to a 4-cylinder. You just get a naturally aspirated V6 that gets the job done, feels normal. But another cool thing about this engine and just how it's paired with the 7-speed is you have the option of going from a comfort mode to a sport mode, and you can really see how quick this SUV is. And then on top of that, just having the 4MATIC system is nice as well. But so far the ride is pretty good, again in this comfort mode. But I'm definitely gonna put it in a sport here as we get ready to get on the interstate. So it livens up quite a bit when you get into sport. And you get sportier shifts in the automatic mode, but I'm gonna put it in a manual and we're gonna see how this thing gets up. No one's even close to me, so this will be fun. Here we go. So pretty quick. Gonna take that off. Now the car didn't like that. The check engine light came on, but sure, it's not really a big deal. It's probably just wondering why I'm waking it up this morning. But I'm gonna put it back into the comfort mode, and we're gonna see if it'll make it back with little issue. Now in terms of the ride quality, even with the 20-inch wheels, it's a Mercedes, so it's how you would expect. It's pretty smooth. And just how the platform is, how it's set up, even going over bumps is pretty comfortable. But I mean, a pretty good driving SUV as of now. Now in terms of what these run for, again, this one has under 88,000 miles and it's a little under 20 grand. A good solid SUV, I think. Now, like most German vehicles, you want something that's going to be, let me put it this way, you want somebody that's gonna be there for you in terms of repairs, because these things are expensive and it's always some weird stuff. It's not like a General Motors product or a Ford product. If something goes bad, it's something simple or something that everyone's done before. You got to find a really good Euro shop that's not going to try and take your head off when you're getting things fixed. Now, the cool thing is Auto Collection of Murfreesboro does have a shop that works on these kind of vehicles, so you could buy it from them and then also have it serviced there, and they just do a really good job at getting your vehicles taken care of. And I want to give another thank you to them for allowing me to review this GLE 350 today. Again, I'll leave the link below in the description, but if you're looking to find something closer to home, you want to make sure you're paying the best possible price, click that second link down below. It takes a minute to fill out your information. But all in all, again, this is one of those vehicles that people want because you don't have a 2-liter turbo, which is pretty much becoming the industry standard if you're not going hybrid or EV. But I mean, the 2-liter turbos are pretty stout engines. They're quick, they're efficient, you get the best of both worlds there. But if you just rather have a naturally aspirated V6, something that feels more normal, something that has less going on in terms of the engine, you won't be disappointed with this 302 horsepower V6. And for the mileage, I mean, you're gonna have to repair some stuff, so again, I'd recommend getting an extended warranty or something like that. But for the most part, these things are pretty easy to maintain. You can look up a YouTube video to get things fixed, and not as terrible as you might think having one of these. That's why this one has 88,000 miles still going. But as of now, if somebody gave me one of these, I'd enjoy it. All that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350.